Hello, I'm Luke Neller and welcome to Best Replays of the Week. In this episode we have a steel wall massacre in Paris, an inappropriate choice for a scout, and a spectacular Top Gun with an artillery piece. Let's get to it. Let's start with Warhawk 15 bouncing shells off an E-100 under the Eiffel Tower. The German Land Cruiser is big and tough, though not quite as well protected as a mouse. And indeed, the very first shot punches through. Don't get too worried though, there are plenty of hit points to go through. A pile of rubble provides good cover, while the 15cm cannon barks like a hound of hell. A VK-101P tries to counter by erecting a literal wall of steel, but it doesn't really work out. A Japanese behemoth drills a hole into the commander. Get up, sir! It's no time to take a nap! Armor isn't holding up that well. But things are going even worse for the Reds. The Krangvang makes a play, backed up by the Type 4. But our steel wall bounces every shot. Is it my turn now? A Krangvang attempts to side scrape before firing off another volley. Warhawk is not impressed. Taking out a T-30 gives the Swede another opportunity to rush in. The commander is dead again, but the autoloader takes a beating. Even with the artillery strike, there's only one way this will end. That was 6 against 1 for a while there. Let's hope that the armor continues to hold up. The next foe goes down almost immediately, making our steel wall a top gun as well. Opponents swarm all around as the E-100 lurks under a bridge like a troll from a fairy tale. An IS-3 gets blown up at point-blank range, followed by a T-69. The slaughter has been too much for a German bulldog. It tries to run, but there is no escape. This just leaves a Tier 10 SPG, which has some much-deserved payback coming to it. Rather than hiding, the cheeky fellow goes for a capture. Sorry buddy, not today. Almost 6.5k blocked and with an impressive 8k in damage. The ammunition costs a mint of course, but with 10 kills you can't argue with the results. Good job Warhawk 15! Next, one of our traditional scouting with an inappropriate tank games, featuring Watch 2012 and an Object 907. The location is Lakeville on a European server. This Tier 10 medium tank was given out to those who did well in Clan Wars. It's rare enough to be a bit of a wildcard opponent for many players. As far as Watch is concerned though, it only needs 2 things right now. A burst of speed to get behind this rock, and decent view range. Don't get me wrong, the quick-firing 100mm gun is handy, but this game is mostly about spotting for the team. There's a rival scout lurking behind a bend in the road. It peeks out occasionally, even testing the object's armor once. A friendly TD arrives and takes care of it before it becomes too much of a nuisance. The spotter's job is done. There's nothing more to do here, aside from putting a few shells into this Jagdpanzer. There are still a few high-value targets lurking in the enemy base. Watch puts a shell into an SPG before pounding the motion for all it's worth. Would there be a third kill to be had still? Oh yes, with the match-ending shot. GG. Short but sweet. The match was only 5 minutes long, but Watch managed to score 10.5k in assistance, with almost 4k in personal damage on top of that. No wonder it looked like an easy win for the team. Now back to the American region with this week's invader, Kiyo. The map is Overlord, with our champions T-49 in the middle tier. The match starts with an aggressive recon and skirmishing. The short-barreled derp gun lands several hits, but early on the damage is somewhat limited. The first kill is stylish, but not particularly impressive otherwise. Kiyo drives around looking for targets. This E4 has strayed far from its support. That earns it a shell in the rear. Pushing deep into red territory brings in some spotting damage, but also a rather unwelcome artillery strike. Kiyo drives away, pausing briefly to lob a shell at a distant Jagdtiger. An attempted shot at an Immel misses, but there's more spotting damage for a consolation prize. One of the foes is attempting a capture, but as we can see, Kiyo is no defender. Somebody else can take care of the rest. Though it doesn't mean our invader can't get in there and pick up a second kill. This 1390 is far from its home turf. It probably knows what's coming. Swedish TDs are butting heads on an incline. It makes for an easy gank. A third Swede kills the teammate, earning a 152mm shell up the tailpipe as a reward. But things get a little dangerous during the reload. The 103 gets sent to the garage in the end, but not before the last teammate has departed the match as well. 1 against 3 with 226 hit points. The rival T-49 shows its face, only to have it blown to Kingdom Come. One of the SPGs is found sunning itself at the beach. Getting the gun to depress low enough is a bit of an issue, but Kiyo pulls it off eventually. That leaves a T-92 HMC, the artillery piece with the biggest splash radius in the game. Our invader spends a fair bit of time looking for it before deciding to end the game with a capture. Finally. The stylish handbrake turn into the shadow of a house might seem like a good idea, but it draws some screams from a teammate. The invader picks up a random spot, which turns out to be just outside the splash radius. Where's the second shot going to fall? Kiyo fidgets a little, as there's nothing to do but wait. Look at that! Staying next to the house would have been a huge mistake. There won't be a time for a third shot, so our cheeky invader destroys a bit of terrain just to taunt the artillerist. There we go. Victory by capture. The massive splash of a T-92 made for a tense ending. And it's rather cool how activity in the chat was crucial to the victory. Well played, Kiyo. From invader to defender, also from the American region, Kevin Vernocchi is the hero of the hour, commanding a WZ-132 at Erlenberg. The crew seems a little overexcited about the top-tier position, or maybe it's just the driver. This Chinese scout packs a medium tank's firepower, which Kevin puts to use right away. Staying on the front to fight multiple opponents would be suicidal, however. This machine just doesn't have the armor for it. The shell velocity could be a little higher for long-range work as well. Maybe we should wait for the targets to hold still. Kevin crosses over to the western flank, picking up a fourth kill along the way. The castle seems indefensible. Teammates are engaging a panther on the other side of the river. Our champion would like to help, but enemy artillery doesn't like the idea. The driver is down for now, but the gunner manages to finish off the German feline. A T-28 prototype crawls into view from between buildings. It tangles with a teammate as the defender starts hammering it into scrap. In the end, both machines blow up. I guess that's a draw. The match is now 3 against 5, with only SPGs for backup. Kevin crosses over to the east, ending up locked in battle with another Panther. Another crew member is felled by an artillery strike, just as the previous one got patched up. The SPGs are snuffed out. Our defender is alone, 1 against 5. On the plus side, the Panther tries to be too clever by half, leaving only 4. Red artillerists do their worst, but this time they just manage a tiny bit of splash. Capture siren. Kevin turns back to defend. Oh, but it's a false alarm. The delay is welcome, as it means getting the loader back into action. Just in time too. But the KV-85 gets away despite the rate of fire. The WZ relocates, attempting a blind shot before continuing all the way back across the map. Both SPGs are in the circle, side by side. Talk about shooting fish in a barrel. It's not over yet though. While the VK is almost dead, a Ferdinand is a serious threat. It would be good to engage them over the defender's turn. One of them enters the circle, but which one? It's the Ferdy, with plenty of hit points to its name. Kevin pounces, landing a beautiful tracking hit at full speed. Up close, the big machine is helpless. Now it needs to die before the KV arrives. Nice! And just in time too, as the KV shot whizzes over the turret. There's an APCR shell in the breach and some hit points left in the chassis. Kevin throws finesse into the wind, finishing the match with a drive-by beatdown. Talk about a defender carry, 11 kills, a respectable amount of damage, and of course, several well-executed defensive actions. Nicely done, Kevin! This week's climax is a spectacular artillery performance by Sosnak 666. With the recent changes to the SPGs, we probably won't see the likes of it again. Sosnak's murder machine is an American M44 self-propelled artillery piece. The map is Swamp. First, a couple of warm-up shots to wake the crew up. Now let's see a real one. Lead the target a little, and boom, just like that. Swap the aiming mode, wait out the reload, and fire. A nice uneyed hit. Sosnak gets into a nice rhythm, scoring 2 more kills in quick succession. The red team is surging ahead. I wonder how well the luck of those 4-leaf clovers will hold. Here's a chance to help out. Goodbye, E25. The situation continues to deteriorate, down to a single tank destroyer backing up the SPGs. Sosnak falls back, setting up a TD-like ambush. It works, but look at the situation. Is this even remotely winnable now? And there goes the Grille. It's 1 against 5. In an SPG. Sosnak waits, and then waits some more. Suddenly a Cromwell charges in, faster than our Top Gun can pull the trigger. Don't miss! Oh, good job, Gunner. Staying here would be suicide, especially with the counter-arty threats. And speaking of threats, here comes the next one. Tier 6 arty versus a Tier 7 heavy tank. What do you think? Sosnak lines up a shot, arcing over the shallow hill. Vision is lost, but the heat shell finds its mark. Incredible! You know what? This is actually starting to look survivable now. Especially when this American SPG can haul ass like a fast medium tank. Here's the 82. It seems to have fallen asleep, but just getting detected by it is dangerous enough. A 2-on-1 shotgun fight is still quite a challenge. What's the plan here, Sosnak? The Grille appears and fires. Our champion returns the shot, still using heat shells. Sosnak doesn't seem interested in swapping back to high explosives. I guess they trust their aim. And not without reason, it seems. The game is now a 1-on-1 duel. Our champion sets off at high speed to find the M12, only to meet it coming the other way. One last pull of the trigger secures the victory. A 10-kill Top Gun with a mid-tier SPG. Seeing is believing, as they say, and that sure was spectacular. Let's look at those medals as well. Incredible play, Sosnak 666. That's all for this episode. I'm really happy about the artillery game, showcasing the best of the old as we're getting used to the new paradigm. I'm Luke Nella, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.